Today, a shoe comparison between Shimano's RP5 and the Specialized Torch 3.0. Both shoes feature in their respective companies' road shoe lineup and can be found in the lower to mid price range, with the Specialized being their highest rated shoe before you reach the S-Works level. I'm going to be looking at these two shoes side by side and deciding which one has the better specifications and performance, which is the better value for money, and ultimately which one I prefer. And not every answer will be as obvious as it at first appears. So let's start from the bottom up and examine the stiffness of the outsole, especially as the stiffness of the outsole has been directly linked to the efficiency of power transfer. But before we can get into this and compare this, we need a little bit of background information.
Now, the shoe companies have an index to rate how stiff their outsoles are, and on the face of it this seems like a really good idea. But the big problem is there's no industry standard. So for example, Scott has a scale that goes from 1 to 10, which seems pretty logical. And then Shimano's goes from 1 to 12. And Specialized goes from 1 to 13. And so it really makes direct comparisons, or at least accurate direct comparisons, very difficult. So on their own scales, the Shimano rates at 8 out of 12 and the Specialized rates at 8.5 out of 13. So in my estimation that makes them just about the same.
The Specialized has this pretty cool feature, which is a pretty substantial and replaceable heel, which you can remove by undoing these two screws that are found just under the insole. And talking of insoles, Specialized offers 3 different insoles so you can customize the fit to your foot. The Shimano has a synthetic upper which is both very well ventilated and incredibly supple, especially around the heel box. By contrast, Specialized upper is far more sophisticated. Its main component that can be seen around the toe box is thermoplastic polyurethane over mesh, and then there are these extra reinforced sections around the base of the toe really designed to hold the foot in place. Add to that a heel box which is incredibly stiff, and there's going to be very little lateral movement of your foot once it's in place. Specialized provides 2 boas and a velcro strap, so you can really zone in the fit along the whole length of your foot. The boas are actually bidirectional and micro adjustable, so you can alter the tightness mid-ride. And a nice little touch is that you can buy replacement boas from Specialized in your team colours. Shimano also has a velcro strap and 1 boa which is unidirectional, and then to undo the boa you have to pop it out, which for a non-competitive cyclist like myself isn't really too much of a problem. Here you have 2 shoes in the mid-price range, with Shimano selling for approximately $200 Canadian and Specialized for around $340. Both have very stiff soles which allows for a great transfer of power, but beyond that the Specialized Torch 3.0 is packed with extra features. A rigid upper with enhanced support, double boas that are bidirectional and can even be tightened and loosened mid-race, and it even has interchangeable heels, boas and insoles. In my opinion, the additional features and the more supportive upper make it well worth the extra expense for a competitive or serious cyclist. But as I alluded to earlier, my conclusion is not that straightforward.
What I've concluded from this review is that shoes are like saddles.
They are?
By that I mean that it's really difficult to recommend a saddle for a person because everybody's physiology is slightly different, and one saddle that's perfectly comfortable for one person is going to be a disaster for another person. And it's the same with shoes. When I put on the Specialized, they feel so immaculate and so precise, and they hold my foot just absolutely solidly. But after 2 hours of wearing them, the outside of my foot just becomes so sore that I end up having to loosen the shoes completely off, which defeats the purpose of them being such a great fit. The Shimano, on the other hand, the upper is so soft and so supple that I can wear them for hours. This doesn't mean that the Specialized don't get used. I'll put them on my feet for any ride under an hour. And if I was doing a Zwift race, then they would be my shoe of choice. But I do a lot of longer rides, and I'm always going to be reaching for the Shimano. So, although the Specialized is on paper the better shoe, for me and my exact foot type, I'll go with the Shimano every single time. I do hope that this has been useful for you, and if it has, please remember to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, hit the notifications button so you can be made aware of any upcoming videos. And I'll see you on the next ride.